Just and this is Russia is cancelled. Every company is leaving Russia by the channel. Somebody told me the full form of this and I don't think I should say it. I swear constantly on this channel, but I feel like as soon as I say this, that's the one word YouTube will have a problem with apparently. So its channel's name is NFKRZ. This channel is really interesting because this guy lived past tense in Russia, but then he, I guess, moved to Georgia and then now he's in Armenia or something. I guess he moved 2-3 times. Why is he having problem everywhere he's going or something? Because this is really interesting because obviously he doesn't hate on anything on Russia, right? But he does criticizes. So I don't know how Russia, government and everybody will feel about that. So does he face problem because of that? Did he left Russia because of that? Because I don't know, man. Has he made any video about why he left Russia and why he moved 2-3 times? So yeah, all the videos about current conflict is from like some other person that doesn't live in both of the countries, as far as at least the ones that I've seen. Well, this channel, he lives in Russia. He lived in Russia. He's a Russian, right? So it's really interesting to see his take on it. So I've seen quite a few like 3-4 videos already from him. So one was I got an older one, right, about how the Soviet Russia, how Pepsi and McDonald's, Pizza Hut, how they broke through the Iron Curtain or whatever. And the latest one was about like how McDonald's replacement is working, which was interesting. And this is also the social media thing, like how social media is Russia is changing that their own social media. They're creating like Ross Tube or something like that. So yeah, this will be about how major companies are leaving. This is interesting to me because I don't know how many companies left, major companies, but I'm guessing it would be like Apple and most major companies. But yeah, this video is from March 7, I guess. So yeah, or let's watch it.
Blazers, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. Hi guys, doing today? Welcome to a brand new video. And in today's video, guys, I decided that I'm gonna just do like a little update video again, just talking about what regular life in Russia is like right now for regular people, because I think that is one thing I can do best from my position right now. It's what I've always done on this channel. I want to talk about what's going on from a standpoint of an average Russian while I still can, because I need to make a little detail before we begin this video. But the future of Western social media in Russia right now is very uncertain. I mean, actually Facebook and Twitter just got banned like yesterday. As far as Google and YouTube goes, they seem to be fine for now. However, one thing that YouTube has done is that now no Russian users are basically getting ads. So YouTubers whose entire audience is Russians, basically from Russia, they cannot get ad revenue.
Wait a minute. Here's the question I have. He's a Russian, right? I mean, I get it. He moved, but he's still a Russian citizen. So can he open a bank account in other country? Because I don't know about that, right? And if he can't, how is going to receive revenue from YouTube? Like I get it, he moved to Georgia and now he's in Armenia. So can he open a bank account in? He's not an Armenian citizen. So can he open a bank account there and say that this is, just in AdSense give Armenian bank account as a date? So I don't know, man. Like, does he get revenue in current videos like this, or he didn't? Because that's really fucked up, man. Right? In this conflict, people like him who get affected like that.
Anymore, basically. It's a bit different for me because my audience is mainly like Westerners, like you guys, and you still were gonna get ads on my videos. But guys, due to the sanctions and like my bank's getting sanctioned right now and stuff, I mean, I can't really get paid anyway. So one thing I want to announce is that in case anything happens, all you guys can catch me in my Telegram channel. I made a Telegram channel, Roman_NoFuckers. Go and follow that. I'll put it up on the screen as well. Follow me there on Telegram and you'll be able to catch updates and see what's going on with me, even if something happens to YouTube or whatever. And again, I'm just gonna say I'm not forcing anybody to do it, but I have created crypto wallets for donations with which you can support me, support what I do right now, because I have no clue what to do basically. I don't know what is going to happen with my banks and my finances. So yeah, you can support me by donating to the crypto wallets in the description, but I'm not going to pretend like I'm starving here or anything, but yeah, I'm down bad. Anyway, let's get on with it because this is not what today's video is about. Basically, I'm pretty sure that all of you guys are already aware of like the economic sanctions from the West on Russia. Russia was cut off from SWIFT. Actually, just today, I think we we received news that Visa and MasterCard are both leaving Russia, essentially meaning that now pretty much any cards issued in Russia, which is usually Visa or MasterCard, they are not gonna work abroad. So if you're like a Russian stuck abroad right now, whatever, you're pretty much fucked. So yeah, continuing that thought, I've already talked about Western governments and their sanctions on Russia right now. You watched my previous video about it. But not only did governments join in on sanctioning Russia, but so did...
I know I guess West was trying to sanction oligarchs as well. So I guess that technique would have been like any Russian citizen outside of Russia would have problem using any money. That's how they could get the oligarchs. But what fucked up thing about that is these rich oligarchs would have many other many other forms of money, right? Resources they can use. But an average Russian, like, someone middle class or doing somewhat fine, who's outside of Russia for whatever reason, they would be screwed badly, right? Like, imagine this, suddenly this conflict starts. In a week or two, this all things happens, right? And this person and, his and him entire family, whatever, is somewhere else, and they get hit like that. Being in a foreign country with no access to your money, that's just horrible.
Companies, private companies and businesses and huge worldwide conglomerates. And yeah, this is honestly, this is looking really bad. Let me just start off with a couple of big ones. Ikea is leaving Russia.
Damn.
It's fucking over. I mean, honestly, I've never had Ikea in my hometown, Chelyabinsk. I only, for the first time, really went in Russia to Ikea when I moved to St. Petersburg, and I was like, this is a godsend, I'm sitting on an Ikea chair right now. I got an Ikea table in front of me. Ikea is my life. And this is not good. Actually, these news basically caused like...
Yeah, I don't want to pause too much, but yeah, when I obviously we have Ikea here in India too, apparently, but I never, actually never used to buy Ikea before. Obviously, now I'm buying it all the time whenever I need to buy it, right? It's sometimes, I buy something from Amazon, but mostly try to buy from Ikea, right? Because of their reputation. Nowadays, I'm finding that ease of access is much more important. Like, you just, bring something here, just assemble it, that's it. Why worry about anything else? But just few years ago, I'll be like, why the fuck would I buy something from Ikea? It's probably not going to be that high quality. It's going to be overpriced. I could just buy it from, I guess, some local shop or something who actually, shows you which material they're using, all that in detail. But I'm like, I don't have time for that shit. Ikea it is. So I can understand why people are busy, right? And then Ikea suddenly fucks off. I mean, in India, if there are many other companies like Ikea who, sells furniture like that. I don't know how many like that is in Russia. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some local companies who's also like Ikea. But yeah.
Riots in every single Ikea store in Russia right now
Damn,
because
look at
people
that.
just rush to Ikea to buy shit
What?
before it closes.
What?
And there were like huge...
Oh, that's much bigger than I thought.
Right
Look at that, all the way to the back.
now because people just rush to
What the fuck? That's a big line.
Ikea to buy shit before it closes, and there were like huge crowds and like people were fighting and stuff. I mean, it was insane. So yeah, that's a big one. The second very, very large one is Apple. Apple decided that they're not going to be officially shipping their phones, laptops, whatever, to Russia anymore. And again, I'm an Apple user, so... Oh, fuck me. You guys might think, like, in this video, I'm gonna, like...
Yeah, first time I bought anything Apple was just like a month ago. Apple iPhone 13. I never wanted to buy Apple just because basically, when you buy Apple, you have to fucking buy Apple. That's how it works, right? They're different iOS. They're different, like, you're gonna hooked up to Mac, and I didn't want to do any of that shit. I'm like, fine, I'll buy iPhone 13. I bought iPhone 13. I bought, case for it from Spigen, I guess, case. And front guard as well, right? I bought iPhone 13 in just like 3 days it got stolen from me. Like, that's it. I don't even... I had a Xiaomi phone, Xiaomi 11, I think, 11 Pro or something, right? Was it 11 Pro, 11X? I don't know exactly, but it was 11 Pro, right? I gave it as a I don't know, exchange, right? There's a scheme like that. If you give your phone in exchange, right, you get certain money off. So I gave that phone in exchange, bought iPhone 13, it got stolen. Now I have like 6 years old fucking Motorola that I'm using currently. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to buy Apple again because apparently the Apples are famous and apparently thieves look for it. I've never had any phone that got stolen. Yeah, iPhone just in 3 days. So I'm scared to buy iPhones. I don't know, but like Apple, if I'm going to buy it again or not. But yeah, who knows. But yeah, lots of people have Apple. Like, Apple is one of the most famous phone there is, even though it's costly for lots of people, is the most sold phone there is. So I can understand how Apple going to people like, fuck me. And like I said, it's that you have to use Apple. If you start to use Apple, it's really hard to go back to Android because even transferring data is an issue.
Kind of laugh at all of these news or whatever. You guys might think that I don't care, or if like I have this like attitude of like, oh, who gives a shit? We don't need this stuff. Go ahead. We Russians will survive without all this bullshit. That's not really my outlook at all.
That's nobody's outlook.
I'm just going insane, and I'm using laughter as a coping mechanism because this is oh my lord. Yeah, Apple basically halted the sale of all of the electronics in Russia, and the thing is that in the first place, since the Russian currency is currently crashing, the ruble, the prices for foreign goods like tech and stuff went up a lot in the recent times. So MacBooks and iPhones are going up in price already, but now that Apple officially announced that they're not gonna be shipping stuff to Russia, I'm sure the prices are gonna be insane. What else do we got? I mean, don't even think of this video as like a full representation and a full list of all the companies that decided to cancel Russia, because the amount of them keeps increasing every second, okay? So I'm just gonna try and give like the most important ones in this video and try to explain you guys what the repercussions of that may be. So next one that is pretty bad that I noticed as well is that PayPal decided to leave Russia. This means that a lot of like, independent artists or whatever who are making money through PayPal, whatever, all these people are basically, their livelihoods are ruined. Apple Pay is a major one as well, and apparently Apple Pay stopped working for most banks who have been sanctioned, but apparently now since Visa and MasterCard decided to leave Russia too, Apple Pay maybe is actually not gonna work even inside of Russia, because people already experiencing issues with it before, but now there's gonna be way more of them basically. So what's next? Another really big one is I guess the tech sector. Basically companies like AMD, Intel, Nvidia, which make PC parts, they've announced that they're gonna be leaving Russia and not selling their stuff, not shipping stuff to Russia anymore. So it's over for Russian gamers, anybody who's trying to build a PC in Russia basically. As far as how over it is for Russian gamers, Xbox and PlayStation right now are either not accepting.
Yeah, I've been PC guy for like since I was little. It's been way too long. I mean, I could assemble a PC, even if I'm half asleep. And even if I haven't assembled a PC for many years, right? That's how much I'm a PC guy at this point. So if this happened in India, yeah, it would hurt me. Like, fuck me. I need Intel, Nvidia. I guess AMD is getting better too now. Who knows?
Payments at all from Russians, or refunding payments that were made like in the last couple of days. So yeah, you can't even really game in Russia anymore. People actually experiencing problems with buying games on Steam and stuff like that. So essentially, yeah, what this means is that, Russia for a long time has been like a market which had a lot of piracy in it, and it's still like a thing. In the past, like I would say 6 years, a lot of people started to actually spend money on subscriptions. So people would buy Netflix, which is also leaving Russia, by the way. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. People would buy Spotify, which I think is also leaving Russia too, and I'm a user of both Netflix and Spotify, so shit, man. People got used to listening to music on Spotify, Netflix, whatever. People got used to buying games on Steam and PlayStation.
Because Spotify's bitrate sucks, so I don't know if I have to buy an album which has a FLAC, basically lossless audio. But yeah, I do also use Netflix. Yeah, I like, just a year or two ago, like I said, I was not dependent on most things. Like I didn't care about Ikea, I didn't care about Netflix or anything. But in past 2 years since the COVID, right, everything has changed.
And Xbox, piracy was slowly but surely kind of going down in Russia. But
yeah,
now it seems like that all of these companies officially left Russia. The piracy in Russia is going to skyrocket. And we're going to again become that nation that everybody talks about. That's when, people talk about internet piracy and everything. Another big sort of segments of international trade and just something that's very important in any economy is automobile companies, vehicle producers. Some of these companies also decided to either halt or stop their existence on the territory of Russia. So like Volkswagen, for example, they also own Audi and Porsche. They have stopped their operations in Russia, and there's actually factories in Russia like Volkswagen.
Yeah, VW owns a lot of fucking companies. There's a high chance if you can name a company, VW owns it.
Factories in Russia that produce these German cars, I guess they're gonna shut down factories now, and tens of thousands of people are gonna lose their jobs. I mean, this is a nightmare. BMW and Mercedes are stopping sending cars to Russia. There's also Volvo, Jaguar. I mean, literally every major company who's very popular in Russia, yeah, they're basically stopping their operations in Russia. So, and yeah, there's a lot more. I mean, a very big one I think is also Boeing, that they're gonna stop sending parts and also servicing planes in Russia, which would mean that there's going to be a very big scarcity of planes in Russia.
I think I saw the Real Life Lord video, right? I mean, that guy is just incredible with the detail. He talked about how the planes, I think it was Real Life Lord, I'm pretty sure it was plane that was borrowed from, other countries, right? Russia basically, has to return it or something, but they don't have to. But then again, there's going to be an issue, like they are not going to be able to service it. So yeah.
From now on, DHL decided to stop sending packages to Russia. Nintendo, as well, as far as games go, has also decided that they're gonna stop accepting payments from Russians anymore. You can't really even buy a game or something if you're a Nintendo Switch. And it's like that with basically everything. Another very big one, I guess, that I gotta mention is, I guess you gotta say the fashion industry. Not even as far as fashion goes, but just any type of clothes made not in Russia, I guess. So there's a lot of issues with it as well. Like, I mean, a lot of huge online retailers such as ASOS, for example, basically are not going to be able to ship their clothes to Russia anymore. Nike announced that they're closing online stores for Russia and they're not going to deliver anymore. Adidas has said that they're stopping collaboration with the Russian football team. I don't think Adidas is actually closing down stores. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, how exactly will Gopnik exist without Adidas? That is scary. Huge clothing retailers like H&M and Zara decided they're going to leave Russia as well. And also pretty much all the luxury brands such as Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Balenciaga, whatever. They've all announced that they're leaving.
Oh no, not the luxury brands. How would average Russian gonna cope? All right, so I feel like this might be a weird way of looking like a social experiment. Can Russian live without most of these companies, right? I mean, this could be both ways, right? I mean, I know West basically trying to pull all this thing as a sanction, as a means to show the people that this war is wrong, you should do something or whatever, basically to put the pressure on Russia. But it could backfire in a way that Russians could suddenly realize that we don't need this shit, right? We are fine with what we have here. So that could backfire really badly. But yeah, I bet there's going to be many people who's going to have problems, and even their livelihoods are going to be, go hit badly because all these companies are leaving, right? That's just fucked up. I mean, all the factories that would be closed, right? I bet Russian government is just going to do what they did with the McDonald's and just restart it, right? The local oligarch or whatever, the owner, probably going to rename something and open the factories again. They're not going to be closed completely. But yeah, this could be a very weird experiment. Like you said, piracy is going to skyrocket, right? I guess what country was that they were talking about, like, if this sanction blocks things, this country could be the gateway that all the products could be brought inside Russia. So I don't know, piracy, I guess black market shit would just go really high. So I don't know how all this gonna hit economy in which way, but yeah.
Russia, so this is it. No more tech, no more cars, no more drip, no more gaming. I mean, guys, even OnlyFans announced that they're gonna basically don't allow Russian users to register now, and they are not allowing any payments to Russian bank accounts, basically, which is kind of what's going on with like Payoneer and stuff like that, and PayPal as well. So yeah, long story short, the easiest summary for this whole video would be everybody has decided to not work in Russia anymore. Literally every company that's ever existed in the history.
Wait a minute, is TikTok still there? Or did TikTok got banned too? TikTok is Chinese, right? So I don't know I don't think it would be banned. So if anything, TikTok is gonna get much higher rise out of users now because of the big thing. What is the big thing? I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, right? YouTube. YouTube is not same as Facebook, Instagram. YouTube is a fucking platform, right? I hate it when somebody compares those three things. But yeah, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. These are the three main social media sites. Two of them are out. So it's only TikTok left. So I guess the user base is going to skyrocket, at least in Russia, for TikTok, right? Because I don't think they would ban TikTok. It's from China, right? If I remember correctly.
Of humanity. Now, I guess let's talk about what this means. First of all, I already discussed this in the previous video, but as far as economic sanctions go, such as SWIFT and stuff like that, yeah, this basically makes it a lot harder / impossible to work now for people who've made their living online, putting their content onto like Western platforms or working freelance or like Upwork or whatever. A lot of these people have lost their livelihoods basically, and I'm kind of included in that list, to be honest. As far as import of such things such as tech and vehicles, honestly, I feel like there will be ways around it, in the sense that already actually a lot of people are talking about this, but people are saying that Kazakhstan actually might become like a transport hub for Russia to get these things from. Because Kazakhstan is just kind of being neutral in this entire situation. So I guess they will have trades with the rest of the world and with Russia at the same time. So it's very possible that soon a lot of new businesses are gonna appear, which basically just will move tech from Kazakhstan to Russia. And the same goes for vehicles as well, because for a lot of these companies, such as Volkswagen, for example, example, Russia is a huge market, and I think it's very much possible that they would probably build factories on the territory of Kazakhstan and then ship cars to Russia from there. It's very possible, because at the end of the day, one thing that you gotta realize is that, yes, these companies may want to shut down their business in Russia to like show their position or whatever, and also not to face any regulations and repercussions from the American or European lawmakers, but
Yeah, they are not doing that to show anything. They are under pressure by the governments to do so. Companies never give a shit about anything, let's be honest, right? They will only give a shit if their PR is hit, right? They might do something for the sake of PR. But when it comes to companies themselves, corporations, they don't care. They always care about the chart sheet, like how this quarter is looking. That's it. They don't care about any other thing. I mean, that's how the companies work when it gets big enough, right? So whenever we see some company doing any charity work, this is because of the PR reasons, right? They need their image to be good. So in this, they are mostly pressured by their own governments, right, in their country. But yeah, if they can find a walk around, like he's saying, like Kazakhstan or something like that, they would be all for it.
At the end of the day, Russia is a big market for them, so I think they will anyway try to find a way to around this. Because you guys gotta understand that companies are never they never care about moral values or anything. They care about profits, and Russia is a market that gives them a lot of profits. So as far as like vehicle manufacturers go,
I don't know if this is some stereotype or not, but Mercedes sold a lot in Russia, so Mercedes would be hit badly if they don't find a workaround.
I'm 100% sure that these cars are gonna just arrive to Russia through like another country. And I think the same is gonna happen with tech products, laptops, computers, phones, whatever, smartphones. Of course, when I'm talking about the fact that these cars and tech still will come into Russia in one way or another, of course, they will be more expensive. First of all, because of the ruble crash, and second of all, because there's like an extra step now in the logistics and money has to be spent on moving things, around the border and everything. Definitely, it will make cars and tech products more expensive and even less affordable for an average Russian, which some of this stuff was not even that affordable for to begin with. As far as the internet goes, I mean, man, I really don't know. Again, just follow my Telegram, and regardless of what happens, I'll find a way, because a lot of people these days, I mean, I really appreciate it, but a lot of people these days like worry about me almost a little bit too much. I mean, literally, I just did not post on Instagram for like one day yesterday because I was just not feeling it. I was just taking time for myself, I guess. And I got so many DMs on Instagram, and like friends were writing to me, and they were like, hey dude, are you okay? Anything happened to you? Why are you being quiet for? And I'm like, what do you mean? I was just off the internet for one day. I think I'll be okay, and I'll find a way to live.
I guess he could be seen as a guy who speaks against Kremlin or Russia in a way. If you see sudden controversy, I mean, he doesn't outright say anything bad about it, but Russia could see him as somebody who's saying something wrong thing. So I guess people are worrying about that. Like, why you suddenly a million subscriber channel on YouTube, a Russian suddenly stop talking? Like, did something happen to you? People were, I guess, panicking about that.
You guys don't gotta worry about me too much. But of course I am worried about, my fellow countrymen and how these sanctions, how these services leaving Russia will affect their lives, because a ton of people already losing their livelihoods. A ton of people already forced to move the country because they just cannot get paid. A lot of people's businesses are falling apart now, especially those businesses that directly deal with imported goods or, any sort of world trade, stuff like that. A ton of these people are completely lost and confused right now. So yeah, I mean, I really don't know what there is to say for this video. It's just like, I'm just so tired. You probably see it in my eyes. Like, I haven't gotten a good night's sleep in over a week at this point, right? My sleeping schedule's completely fucked. Like, I go to sleep at like 7 a.m. and wake up at like 6 p.m. And usually, yeah, I've had moments like throughout my life where my sleeping schedule was fucked, and I always felt like, damn, I gotta fix this shit. I'm, missing out on life. I wake up, it's already dark. Now, honestly, every day that it happens, I'm
it's not just that, right? I mean, science says if you just mess up your sleep cycle in that way for a long enough time, you could face some form of depression. Right, you wouldn't not even understand it, but you'll just be off. Like, you can't put your finger on, like, why is it off? Like, I'll face that, right? And I sometimes, sometimes I start to sleep at 4 a.m., wake up, really late because, for that week I didn't have anything to do much, right? I'm a construction, contractor, like I said, so I don't have to go to my, construction site every time, right? There are certain points, the key times that I have to go. So sometimes it's like a week off for me, right? So, this just goes out of sync. Right, and I have felt like, holy shit, I'm feeling some form of depression over small things, and so I have to go back to normal, right? Otherwise the disturbing sleep cycle is really fucked up. I mean, you never know. You could hit with a depression that never goes away. There's always that risk.
Like, cool, I skipped this day as well, because I just cannot wait for something to get better, for something to get better, or at least so I can understand what's happening to me and what I need to do for at least one day, right? But it doesn't. So what happens is that I just, every single day, sleep through the whole day, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna skip this day as well. I don't even want to know what this new day will bring me, That's the fucking attitude right now. So yeah, guys, I mean, what can I say? Thanks so much, everybody, again, for all the supports and all the positive messages that I'm getting. Again, I truly believe that these are difficult times, but in the end, it will be fine. And I'm not an optimistic person, per se, but in times like these, you just really gotta believe, You just really gotta believe. And I'm a very pessimistic person, but if in times like these I give in into my pessimism, I would just die, on the spot. I would fucking vanish in front of this camera. So I'm not gonna let that happen. We are going to make it. I don't know what the fuck I broke out into that philosophical rant at the end there, but yes, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you
yeah, I mean, damn, this is just, it is a horrible time, especially for all the people that are caught between it, right? Ukrainians and Russians too, right? People are just, whenever somebody talk about like, Russia is the one doing the war, why are you talking about Russian, people? But yeah, you have to understand, Russian people has nothing to do with it. They are caught in the middle as well, man, right? They are the one who also is getting screwed, right? The people like him, basically, which is kind of fucked up. And like I said, the people who were abroad at the time, right, or who still is right now, I don't know, who's suddenly their bank not working because of the SWIFT while you are in foreign country, that's just even more fucked up. But yeah. Right, well, that was Russia is cancelled. Every company is leaving Russia by the channel NFKRZ. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.